Welcome to the Massillon City Council meeting for Monday, September 18th, 2023. We have an attendance with us tonight, following city officials.
Mayor Kathy Perry.
Good evening.
Chief Counsel Earl Wise.
Here.
City Engineer Alex Pitts.
Present.
And Economic Development Director David Maley.
Present.
That's it, Madam President.
Thank you. And welcome to all that are with us this evening. Under number 5 on the agenda is where the public can speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. And then again, under number 17, the public can speak on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. I'd like to remind you, please, if you have a cell phone, please set it to mute, vibrate, or turn it off. Thank you. Roll call.
Creamer.
Present.
Gregg.
Here.
Howard Smith.
Here.
Hearn Kane.
Here.
Lewis.
Present.
Lombardi.
Here.
Sloots.
Here.
Sneed.
Here.
And Viola.
Here. Present.
Am I present?
Yep, Present. Hold it or.
Right.
We're good, thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
You have to hold it all time. No, we don't now.
Are we done for roll call?
Yes, roll call at 9 present.
Thank you. All present accounted for. Councilman Sneed.
Please join me for the Lord's Prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Sneed. Before we go any further, I really want to do this myself. But go ahead, Councilman Gray.
You can have the floor. It's your
Now,
meeting.
go right ahead.
Thank you, President East. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Massillon Tigers on a huge win on Friday night against the previously undefeated and defending Division I state champion St. Edward's Eagles. The boys played their hearts out, came away with a 2-point victory, and represented, as always, represented themselves, their community, and Massillon Tigers with class. Next up is a team from Delaware, Middletown, Delaware. So we're looking for a good effort next Friday night and urge everyone to come out and support the Tigers. Thank you.
TIG.
Pardon?
TIG.
TIGERS, go Tigers.
Reading of the journal. Madam Clerk, are the minutes of the previous meeting transcribed and open for public viewing?
Yes, they are.
Are there any corrections or additions to be made?
No, there are not.
Then the minutes stand approved as written. We're at number 5 on the agenda, where anyone from the audience can come forward and speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please state your name, topic you wish to discuss, and please limit your comments to 4 minutes or less. Seeing none, we'll move into new miscellaneous business. Does anyone have anything? Introduction of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 98, 2023.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and the director of public service and safety of the city of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into a ground lease agreement with the Massillon Community Improvement Corporation, CIC, pursuant to section 1724.10 of the Ohio Revised Code concerning the lease of land described in attached Exhibit A, and hereby further authorizing and directing the mayor and the director of public service and safety to enter into the ground lease agreement with the Massillon CIC for such land for the purpose of promoting the industrial and economic development of the community, and hereby further authorizing and directing the mayor and the director of public service and safety to enter into the related memorandum of ground lease agreement with the Massillon CIC and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Councilwoman Kramer.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to bring up Chief Counsel Earl Wise this evening, again, to the microphone to give us an overview, similar to what he did at the work session last Monday regarding this, because there's multiple parts regarding this, and what falls under the need to come. Thank you, Mr. Wise.
Good evening, everyone. This is the first ordinance is the ground lease. That is the lease between the City of Massillon and the Massillon Community Improvement Corporation. The same term, and the term is beginning now, or when it's signed, through September of 2038, which is a 15-year term. There are then 4 optional 15-year periods. That's 60 years, so at this point the whole thing would be for 75 years. Originally it was for 99 years, we're 20 years into it, so it's roughly the same time frame. The city owns the property. This is a lease giving control of the property to the CIC for $1 a year. They then have an agreement with Charles Street, which doesn't involve the council. And then the next ordinance will be called the sublease for the agreement between the city and Charles Street. But this initial ordinance is simply the agreement between the city of Massillon and the CIC. And I believe, though I haven't seen it, I believe there was a meeting of the CIC and they have approved this ground lease. That's my understanding, so correct me if I'm wrong on that. Questions I'd be happy to.
Thank you, Mr. Wise. Thank you. Anyone have any comments, questions? Councilman Trimmer?
Thank you. So at this time, I would like to make a motion to waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring forward ordinance number 98-2023 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Snead. Roll call for suspension.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
No.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 no for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 98-2023 has passed. Ordinance number 99-2023.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and the director of public service and safety of the city of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into a sublease agreement with Charles Street Association Ltd. for the real estate described in the attached Exhibit A, and further authorizing and directing the mayor and the director of public service and safety to enter into the related memorandum of sublease agreement and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, this is part 2 of what we just voted on, except this now is us leasing from Charles Street those 60 spots at the rate of $12,000 per year. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, I make a motion that we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bringing ordinance number 99-2023 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Gregg. Roll call for suspension.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Howard Smith.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
No.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
and Hurricane.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 no for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 99-2023 is passed. Ordinance number 100-2023.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of 1100 general fund for the purpose of the Massillon Fire Department for the year ending December 31st, 2023, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, this ordinance is for $3,124. It takes care of comp pay and overtime pay for our fire department. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bring ordinance number 100-2023 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call for suspension.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Ern King,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Ern King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 100-2023 is passed. Resolution number 7-2023.
A resolution in support of waiving the building permit fees for the Massillon City School District's East and West Side Elementary Schools.
Councilman Lewis.
First reading.
Thank you. Resolution number 7-2023 has received first reading. Unfinished business. Councilman Gray.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to bring forward for the council to consider. We had a resident request several weeks ago, a question and answer type situation or session during city council meeting. I talked to that individual. We talked about perhaps having a period during regular meeting where any resident can come forward, probably during item 17 on the agenda, to bring up questions that they had for council, either specific council people or in general. That's already happening, but in some cases, but the answers aren't getting out there to the public. So what President Eisnick and I discussed was if people come forward during the regular meeting, ask questions during item 17, then we, as a council or individual council members, can get those answers and respond in public at the following regular meeting, so that not only the person asking the question gets the benefit of the answers, but everybody that's interested gets the benefit of the answers as well. I thought that was a good compromise, as opposed to having a true question-answer period during the meeting. We didn't want to go back to that. So that's what we've discussed. And since it's a regular meeting, is the president's meeting, it's up to her to decide.
I had discussed this also with other council people, and I think if the community comes forward and has any questions and no one ever gets back to them, it's just kind of a letdown. They don't know what's really going on. So I don't have a problem with doing that. So when someone comes up and asks a question, rather than put someone on the spot and not have an answer, you'd have basically 2 weeks to get the answer, and then at the next meeting, we could address the answer on number 17. So, Councilman Howard Smith.
I think that's a great idea, but I think sometimes it's a simple question and there's no reason to wait 2 weeks. Why can't we, if we feel we have an answer at that time, why can't we answer it at that time?
Councilman Gray?
As I said, we don't really want to turn it into a true question and answer period, and that would, I think, what would lead to that. There's no issue with getting to that person right away after the meeting and giving them the answer, but we then would give them the answer again in the second meeting. So, and I think what we discussed was the answer would be provided under miscellaneous business, correct? Not item 17, but
Right.
yeah. So, yeah, no. This doesn't mean that if you have the answer, that you don't give it to the person right away. But this way, it's going to be publicly stated so that everybody can benefit.
I really like the fact that people afterwards do talk to people that have commented, and I think that makes them feel noteworthy. Councilman Creamer?
Just to clarify, when the question is posed, will you be the individual assigning it to the committee chairperson to follow up possibly after the meeting and in 2 weeks in this public forum?
I will be honest with you, Councilwoman Creamer, sometimes I don't know what committee it goes with.
Just so there's one individual following up instead of all of us following up. So there's going to be one assigned person to address the concern, is my concern.
As saw another later. Okay. Petitions and general communications. Bills, accounts, and claims.
Yes, we have a bill in the amount of $127 payable to U.S. Bank Equipment Finance for the September payment of our copier. We have another bill in the amount of $116.54 payable to Office Depot for copy paper and office supplies. And another bill in the amount of $45.77 paid to First Commonwealth, which is our credit card, when I purchased the pedestal stand from Amazon. And the total amount of our bills is $289.31.
Councilman Lewis,
Make a motion to pay the bills?
second by Councilman Gregg, roll call.
Sneed,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Sluse.
Yes.
9 yes to pay the bills.
Thank you. The clerk will pay bills and charge them to their proper accounts. Reports from city officials.
Yes, we have the mayor's report for August of 2023, and you all should have received a copy in your email.
Thank you. And from live mayor's report. Mayor, before I forget, may I ask a question? I've seen a lot of activity over at Affinity. Do we know anything of what's going on with them?
We know that they're working on it.
I have no idea when they will open.
Okay, good evening, Madam President, members of council. The first item I'd like to talk about is our 2023 fall yard waste. I know you're all excited about this for our residents. On Wednesday from 3 to 7, from October 4th, the 18th, November 1st, 15th, and 29th, and I'll leave this with the president. And then Saturdays 9 to noon, October 7th, 14th, 21st, 28th, November 4th, 13th, and December 2nd. The garage will be open on Saturdays. We will accept materials such as grass, leaves, shrubs, brush, branches, plants, stumps, and you do have to have an ID, and that's a resident ID. So I'll give that to you. The next item, we did a walkabout in Walnut Hills. Some residents joined us and several council members. It was a great time there to understand more of their issues, and honestly, it looks pretty good. There's about 4 areas that need some attention to it, and code enforcement is already working on those areas. So we were fairly pleased with our walkabout. The next item is we did a ceremony for Sergeant Corey Emlich to unveil the street signs. They are both up now. We had a nice service for them, and the family was very appreciative. The update for Wells Road. So you probably wonder, what's going on? There's a water line issue on Springhaven, so they're working on that right now. As soon as that gets rectified, they'll be back working diligently on the project. So a little hiccup there with the water line, and that's not uncommon. Erie Street and Charles both have the curbing, the sidewalk, the ADA, and the electrical placed, and the lights will be coming early October. So that will be complete then. Castle West, the first phase has been completed. So Ward 6, Castle West. Diamond Court, as you can see, if you've traveled around our building from the bank, to enter the bank and go to the ATM or bank service, you will notice that it's a dirt road right now, and they are working on the curbing. So that will be coming in, and then the next will be the sidewalk, and then we'll get that paved, repaved again. So that is in progress and going very well. That's all I have for you
Is
today.
Erie Street phase 2
Erie Street?
with the sidewalks and that?
No, it's not. It's all by itself. It's a separate
So
project.
that's a city project.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
We also, I just wondered, do we have a projected completion date for that project?
With Erie,
Wales.
Wales. Well, we've been told that the date is actually June of '24, but if they can get this water project done, it may be much sooner.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Reports of committees, our next work session will be Monday, September 25th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Resolutions, requests of council members. Calendar, third reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 82, 2023.
An ordinance creating a designated outdoor refreshment area, DORA, and establishing requirements to ensure public health and safety within such area.
Councilman Kramer.
Thank you, Madam President. We've had multiple discussions over the past few weeks regarding creating this DORA. Due to our discussions, I've asked administration to be sure to include in the plan the number of safety staff members needed, the number of sanitation staff members needed. The border we discussed were based on Exhibit 4. The border remains the same. The days and times, we're going to have additional discussions every time we talk about certain time frame. Additional input is gathered. So we'll discuss that more. And along with that, requesting signage for Veterans Park, prohibiting participants to enter in the park with the DORA cups and beverages. So those are things we're still going to take place. At this time, I've scheduled a public hearing October 2nd at 6 p.m. here in council chambers. Are there any other additional questions council members may have at this time? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to table ordinance 82-2023 until October 2nd, 2023.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call.
Violen,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
and Snead.
Yes.
9 yes to table ordinance number 82-2023 until October 2nd.
And Madam Clerk, ordinance number 82, 2023 has been tabled till October 2nd with a public hearing at 6 p.m. that evening. Second reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 87, 2023.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for and receive sealed bids and to enter into contract with the lowest and best bidder upon the approval of the Board of Control for the construction of the Robertson splash pad at Wampo Park and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Kramer.
Second reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 90, 2020. I'm sorry, Councilman Lewis.
I just want to make a request for that particular ordinance. I was contacted. Do we know if the park board has approved going out to bid for this? If it's going to reside in the parks and become the responsibility, shouldn't they somehow state their agreement that we put it out to bid before we vote on it?
I would like someone from administration to answer that. I believe I know the answer, but I would like to hear from them.
Thank you, Mr. Naily.
Is that specifically with regards to maintenance of the facility?
No, just in general, that if the splash pad is going to reside inside of a park and become the responsibility of the park board to maintain and
Right.
whatnot, shouldn't they at least put on the record their agreement for the splash pad to go out to bid and be built in the first place?
I do not know if they need to or not. That
that be a question and we could find out legal. I'm not sure if it's necessity that they do that. I know one of the questions that was brought up earlier with regards to the park and using the door as a park as a door. I know that's a discussion that needs to happen. I think Steve has taken that to the board. I can follow up on that question though.
I guess, more than just the legality, I would feel more comfortable if this council would have agreement from the oversight authority of the park board that they're in agreement with this project.
Okay. Anything else? Councilman Howard Smith?
We can follow up with the director, Steve Pedro, but they did months ago approve it, and, you know, that was going to be paid for and how it was going to be paid for, and that they would be responsible. They all voted on it, and it was unanimous support for it.
Thank you.
It's not true. So I don't know that necessarily, like you said, we can find out.
Councilman Kramer, anything else? No, President. Ordinance number 90, 2023.
An ordinance enacting Chapter 962 Cemeteries under Title 5 of the Public Services of Part 9, Street Utilities and Public Services Code of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Massillon, Ohio, for the disposition of deceased indigents and the administration thereof.
Councilman Sluse?
Second reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 90, 2023 has received second reading. Ordinance number 92, 2023.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of 1100 General Fund for the purpose of the Robertson Splash Pad project for the year ending December 31st, 2023, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Second reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 92, 2023 has received second reading. Ordinance number 96, 2023.
Ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Massillon, Ohio to submit an application for funding to the Ohio Public Works Commission for the funding year 2024 and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, this ordinance is to submit the application related to the Tremont Avenue Southwest resurfacing project. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? I make a motion that we suspend the rules requiring three readings, bring ordinance number 96-2023 forward for a vote.
Seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call for suspension.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Viola.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 96, 2023 is passed. Excuse me, ordinance number 97, 2023.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Massillon, Ohio to submit an application for funding to the Ohio Public Works Commission for the funding year 2024 and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Like ordinance number 96, this one is to have the application go to the Ohio Public Works Commission for Lincoln Way Phase 3 Improvement Project. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring three readings, bring ordinance number 97-2023 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Gregg. Roll call for suspension.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Viola.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry. Kramer
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Kern Kane,
No.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi.
No.
Did you say no?
No.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvard Smith.
Yes.
7 yes, 2 no for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 97-2023 has passed. Order number 17 on the agenda, where anyone from the community can speak on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please come forward, state your name, topic you wish to discuss, and please limit your comments to 4 minutes or less.
Good evening, Gail Danzy. First, let me say I'm elated that we're going to have the opportunity to get answers from council every 2 weeks or however often it is. Having said that, I still want to bring up that I've been asking what's going to be done with the slum landlords, commercial and residential. And I know I've been asking that for probably months now. So I'm hoping that now that we're going to do it this way, that I will get an answer to that question. The other question I have is there a way to find out the buildings that are downtown that have second floors? Are they available for rental? So if there's someone that can tell me that here after the meeting, that's fine. If not, I'll wait till the 2 weeks when we can do it. And then when does this take effect that we will be able to ask questions? That's my third question, if somebody can let me know that after the meeting.
Tonight.
Oh, okay, it takes effect tonight. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm ready to go. Thank you. I am not a pest. Do you hear me? I am a citizen of Massillon who is interested in what goes on in Massillon. I worked in Massillon since 1999, and the mayor can attest to the fact she was on council at that time, and I was just as active then as I am now. And I believe every citizen of Massillon needs to stop their parking lot meetings and come to council and find out what's going on in their city, ask their questions, and act on that. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to be offensive to anybody. I just want to know so that if there's something that I can do about something, I can do it. I had a wonderful interview, thanks to Mr. Ress here, with the superintendent of schools last week. Wonderful interview. Because, like I said to him, when Gail wants to know something, I don't ask in the community. I come to the people who are supposed to have the answers, and I ask them. If I find out that they will not give me the answers, I'll leave them alone and go right on about my business. So I don't mean to be offensive to any of you. Let me publicly say that I just want to know what's going on in my city. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Anyone else? Seeing none? I'm so sorry.
I'm Barbara Meyer. This past Saturday, I was able to go to the city of Wapakoneta. And the downtown is a beautiful, beautiful city. There's a bunch of old buildings, individual buildings, very similar to Massillon. Then there's a modern building, steel, glass, beautiful, same height as the rest of them, more antique buildings, and more modern buildings, all in a stretch. And it looks so beautiful. We could do that with Massillon too. So if the buildings are falling down, fix them up, get rid of them, start over again. I think it would be beautiful.
Thank you, Barbara. Where did you go, Barbara?
Wapakoneta.
Wapakoneta, western side of the city.
Pardon? That's where John Glenn's from.
Anyone else? Councilman Snake.
Let's make a motion, we adjourn.
Second by Councilman Hurricane, roll call.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Swift,
Yes.
Sneak,
Yes.
Viola, Reamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
and Herman Kane.
Yes.
9 yes to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.